And a very good morning to everybody joining us on the World Wide Web. Thanks for joining us. It is day number 2 here, your 2021 Surf City, El Salvador ISA World Surfing Games. We got 3 in this heat, and we're continuing on with round 1 with the men, so we go to heat 29. And that is the look that you're going to be seeing out here. Nikita, Avdeev from Surfing Federation, Filipe, Toledo from Brazil, and Allan, of course, going to be competing too as well from Barbados. So looking forward to it. Brad J in the booth, Shannon Hughes alongside, and here we go, back to surfing action. How excited are you?
Oh, so excited. It's so wonderful to be here in El Salvador. El Chico has just been on fire. Great little setup for our competitors, an amazing location as far as surf is concerned. Avdeev has been firing this morning. We've got surf happening down at El Salvador, and it is just such a beautiful day again, very sunny. We've got great swell on the forecast, and it's going to be a really exciting day of surfing ahead of us.
That's funny that you bring that up because we're actually looking kind of at the surf forecast. You know, we do a great job and get all the information for Surfline, but the seconds are coming up. It's going to get better. It's going to get bigger, and today is probably the lemon next to the pie, and we're going to see that thing kind of pick back up. And we get right down to business. Filipe Toledo from Brazil, 26 years old, going to work on this one. You don't see a lot of the guys taking on the rights so much. You see pretty much most of the action on the left, but with the tide changing, we'll see how that changes with what their choices are.
Well, it's an exciting morning. We've got a few Olympians in the lineup for the next couple of heats that we get to call Brad. Filipe Toledo, of course, qualified for the Brazilian contingency. And he had that qualification out of the 2019 World Surf League WCT results alongside... Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no, that puts him. He's actually the first alternate, correct.
My apologies.
Because it's Michelle Juarez from France and Jeremy Flores. They already secured themselves, punched their ticket to Tokyo. But for Filipe Toledo, how important is it for him to really do good here?
Oh, well, yeah, so the importance of his result out of this event really doesn't come into factor, to be honest. Like, it would be amazing for him to be able to win a gold medal for the ISA World Surfing Games. But as you mentioned, him being the alternate, not actually on the Brazilian team alongside of Italo and Gabriel, he's already got that alternate spot based on his 2019
Here's Avdeev right here, dropping it from the Russian Surfing Federation off the top on that first one. Nice, good cutty right there. Let it build up. Look, he's going to get a little corner section here to work with. One more. And it breaks those fins loose, but that's not going to count. The judges of Chris Cote was saying they want to see you right away. They want to see that you're confident. Don't jerk off, see your nose in front of that one.
Oh yeah, you've got to pull out of it confidently. We saw that with a couple of waves yesterday where those surfers just bounced off right before riding out complete, and that's super important. That was a nice looking wave. So it looks like, some of that swell size is maybe going to start peaking throughout today, through the end of the day.
Well, we got that tide dropping just like it was yesterday. You're looking at right now at 9:30 our time here. The low tide is a 12:30 low tide, and that's a 0.43 today. So we're seeing the difference right there. 3 hours away from the actual low tide, and the high tide comes up like gangbusters. 6:45 comes up to 6:59. Take a look at some of the replays here.
From Nikita, great off the top to start. Love that little hand drag as he comes up into the lip once again.
Stylish.
So much style. Love that you can just see that kind of poise as he's coming through and hits that finish.
Boy, that slow-mo really looks so sick. Like you said, where he drags his hand, you could really see it as he did on both those bottom turns. He drug his hand and just kind of kept him right in the sweet spot of that wave.
Yeah, extremely stylish, like you mentioned. Unfortunately, unable to ride out at the end. But what a great way for him to start and just find some rhythm. I mean, he really looked like he could feel it on that wave.
What do you think goes through a guy like Filipe Toledo from Brazil, who is the first alternate, and he's not a guaranteed spot? But I mean, the way you look at how Gabriel surfs and how you look at Italo, the way they surf, it's not a done deal. Like, he's not going to make it. Being the first alternate, when these guys are, busting out doing backflips almost every single day, anything can happen. I mean, you'd hate to see that, but you got to be ready to compete at any moment.
Well, I think where you're going with that is injury conversation, right? Being that
I was trying to kind of tip tap around that.
I think it's a fair conversation for us to have because yesterday we saw Italo and Gabriel. I mean, such an incredible show on for our spectators and just for them to kind of get a warm up here at the World Surfing Games. Going to the air, massively. There is
Вот
the
сейчас
risk
приоритет у
of
белого.
injury, something
То
with
есть
the
сейчас
ankle.
волна
We've
придет,
already
должен
seen
будет
that
белый
coming
брать.
through from the
Потом
USA
приоритет
team.
у
Yes,
желтого,
we
и
have.
потом
And,
только у
and
нашего.
both John Florence,
Понял,
the
ты
two
меня?
Olympians for
Да.
Team USA,
Вот наш пошел
are out
вниз,
for injury
будет
and
брать,
time.
потому что они
So there is
пропускают.
the potential that we see Kelly Slater
Это наш
get
опять,
an
да?
alternate position because of that
Или это
on
повтор?
that side of things.
And that was John John's second injury too, as well. So we look
Ну
at
давай
the
прыгай.
Russian Federation surfer right here, Nikita Avdeev. But we see that like John had an injury with the knee, had surgery, and then had
А вот белый
the other
пошел.
knee. So
Главный его
that's a
соперник.
tough one to go. So if you're Kelly Slater, you just play the waiting game, much if you're like you're Toledo at this point.
Exactly. I mean, for Filipe Toledo, there's every opportunity he needs to stay sharp
Что он
and
должен
stay
показать?
in form, just like Shea
О.
Allan.
Упал,
Jay
упал.
Allan under the lip right there, trying to get that thing solid. Let's check in third member of our
Ну, хуй
team.
прошел,
It's
да?
Jody Nelson standing by. Jody,
Thank you very much,
Come on,
Brad. Yeah,
yeah.
down here with Team Peru, Miguel Tudela, who just had a great performance in that last heat. Miguel, one of my friends that we're all cheering for, although I know all the female surfers are cheering for Sofia Milanovic,
Он
but
первый
talk to us
пока.
a little bit about
А
Team
пока
Peru
первый.
and what the vibes are amongst the team coming into this
Потому что
event.
пока еще вот этот чувак не взял волну. Когда он ее возьмет,
Training a little bit separate, but
а
at the
может
same
ее не
time we've
взять
been
вообще? Нет.
really strong in the last
Вот он
couple
пошел.
ISAs.
Сейчас
because
все
we're,
вздрогнут. Повторюсь, он сейчас
a
прыгнет.
team that's
Все.
we cheer for each other
До
the whole
свидос.
time.
Sorry, there was a massive air
8 баллов.
behind you.
So
Максим,
yeah, Filipe is gonna do crazy things out there. And yeah, I mean Peru, it's been there on the top 5 for the last couple of years, and we already have one spot on the Olympics.
Да-да,
We're
Шайба.
trying to get another one out there, and we're just doing our best to get that spot.
это он что ли?
Well, we're all sitting back
Yeah.
looking at the
Это
stats,
предыдущий
the paperwork,
заезд.
trying to crunch numbers and figure out who needs to do what. Do you guys talk about that? And do you know what you need to do to make the Olympic team?
Что он творит? Смотри.
Not really. I mean, I think there's only 5 spots, so
А, это запись
he doesn't
показывает.
really care what you do. Just need to do your best and try to be on the top 5 of the event, so you're gonna be.
8,85.
So I would say win the
А у
event,
нас
and you're not
сколько?
gonna have any trouble to get the spot, you know. So just do your best, hit by hit, and that's it.
Что у них маски
So
какие-то
you're in it to
здоровые, да,
win
смотри?
it, is what I'm hearing. And hopefully Sophia's hearing the same
Или он
thing.
просто с головой маленький?
Congratulations on the last team. We can't wait to keep cheering you guys on.
Thank you very
And if
much.
you want to say hi to anybody at home.
Sí, decirle a todos hola ahí en casa, sé que están todos muy pendientes, muchos mensajes, así que nada, gracias por el apoyo, gracias por las buenas vibras y bueno, a votar muchachos, que se vienen las elecciones difíciles y acá nosotros vamos a dejar toda la cancha para que el Perú esté arriba. Vamos. Gracias.
There you go. Thank you so much, Jody, catching up with the last heat. But I'll tell you what, the Brazilian tornado out here during that interview. We're talking about Filipe Toledo just going to the air. We'll take a look at it in a little bit. Let's go back to the action as we look
Ну, с
outside. A
красным
little
нет
something
шансов
coming in right
кидаться. Ну
now.
вот белого бы обкатай.
Wow, I mean, that
Белый
was
такой,
absolutely
понятно, да?
wild. Scores
Ну,
are dropping in
пока
from
он не
that
особо что-то
last wave
сказал.
of
Вот он.
Filipe Toledo.
Вот он заходит.
8.83.
That's the biggest score that we've seen, I
Up,
think, the
нельзя.
whole entire 2 days that we've been under competition. So, and he's not done yet. Here's Filipe, as I said, the Brazilian tornado back at it. He's going to work to this inside section, let it build,
Вау!
and just go
А
to
вот
the
то, что
air
он
on
не
that
встал на
one.
доску, это уже тоже
Do you
минус,
think
да?
they had their team meeting, a couple days ago, arrived in El Salvador, get used to,
Это
get to
инверсная,
their
кстати.
hotel rooms, get there for surfing, team meeting, airs only.
Okay, now watch this right
Слушай,
here.
а почему волна в другую сторону? Вот это он
Alley-oop
сделал.
Ну он
three.
просто
I mean,
дикий, он
you
видишь, и
cannot
туда может,
hit
и
that
сюда. В
any
этом
better. And that is
заключается
textbook.
класс
Take another
спортсмена.
look here.
Я тебе
Watch,
говорю,
he
это
sets it up,
или чемпион мира,
spins
или
towards the
один
wave,
из.
sets it down, perfecto, and that is almost a 9.0.
Вот еще тут.
Wow.
Это он.
Excellent surfing
По-моему, чемпион
from
мира он
the
даже какого-то
Toledo
года.
Tornado. Oh my goodness.
goodness.
This is so exciting. I love that these men are bringing it. They're on fire. They've been training on the sides. For Filipe, being that
Сейчас
alternate
приоритет
spot,
у
he
нашего.
needs to stay in top form. There's every possibility that our provisionally qualified surfers fall out for one reason or another.
Exactly. Look
To
at
be in form like this, Filipe
Ну,
is
что,
going to
да,
land
давай.
this opportunity.
And Nikita
Поливай,
Avdeev,
Никита.
Russian
Прыжок,
Surfing
ну
Federation.
уже.
Great drone footage. He's going to
Увез.
break the fins loose on
Увез,
that.
увез.
Can he get out in front of that white water? No, he cannot. And you look at it, okay, so Filipe is a first alternate for Brazil, okay? That just shows you how strong Team Brazil is. I mean, You look at Gabriel Medina, Italo Pereira, and then you sometimes forget Filipe Toledo. He's in the mix too. He may be an alternate, but that dude can win at any time.
Well, speaking of that and how well he did, these qualifications for our championship tour competitors came from the 2019 season. Ranked number 1 in 2019 on the WSLCT Tour, Italo Ferreira. Ranked number 2, Gabriel Medina.
Yep.
Number 3, Jordy Smith, so the South African gets in there.
Okay.
Number 4, Filipe Toledo.
Yeah.
So in any other conversation, he would be in a moment.
In a moment, exactly. Any other country too as well. You got to know that he would be in there. And look at Avdeev keeping busy here. So he's going to drop in this one. Looking for an 8.54 to get him on the top spot. Nice hack right there. He's got time for one more. Redirects that, gets back in, and rides it out. Look at that. He's got the little claim right there too. He's feeling good. He's getting some waves. And you know what? That's good because you're not letting yourself get caught up in the Toledo show. You're just like, I got to still pay attention to what I'm doing and focus on what I'm tasking.
Well, he's doing a great job. So our surfer from the Russian Surfing Federation, Nikita, he's got a 3.3 on the scoreboard at the moment, but he's going to probably better that with that last wave. Put his best score into the mix and put some more pressure on our surfer from Barbados, Shea Allan. Shea Allan, we know, grew up in Mexico, born in Barbados and representing his home country. But has had some time to surf some of those big, heavy waves.
Несколько минут осталось.
And you know, and he's fit. He was fit at the World Juniors too. So he's got the skills to get up there and compete with the best of the best. So you know he can do it. He just needs the waves to be able to make it happen.
Absolutely.
But I tell you what, man.
Set rolling through.
Yeah, I feel like this is really good.
Волна специально какая-то больше,
Large
слышишь? Да.
shot here.
Ох!
Hits it straight up vertical on that. Cuddy there kind of breaks those fins loose. Late on that lip, but it was able to ride away from it. So pretty solid maneuvers right there. Filipe looks like he is just winning this heat the way he's surfing.
Well, he just needs to drop that 3.0 from his low score.
That should get rid of it right there.
He'll be doing okay.
I feel like that's close to a 5. Take another look here.
So drives up into the lip. Great opening turn. And just continues to hammer away, like you said. Releases those fins slightly. Comes in under the lip.
Он просто,
right out clean.
блин,
So
вот
free turn combination.
ни один нормальный человек бы
Again,
там не
kind of
мог
back to the
кататься.
meat
Это
and
будто
potatoes of
ходит,
it,
да?
right? Just get those turns down. And then taking a look at last from
Это наш, да?
Nikita. Driving up into lip. What a great
это белый
surfer
пошел.
this guy. Grew up, born and raised in the Ural Mountains.
Вот смотри, уехал.
2,000 kilometers from the ocean.
Это белый был, да?
Saw
Ага.
a photo
наш,
of a surfer in a magazine that his dad had when he
наш
was
выиграл.
5, and he knew he
Белый
wanted to be a
пошел.
surfer. And that's that guy's story to becoming an Olympic hopeful.
Here's Shea Allan now, Barbados, trying to see what he can do. Needs a 3.88 to get to that number 2 spot, so doable, but you got to stay on to make that happen.
Yeah, you really need to stay in form at this stage. 5 minutes on the clock, counting down, scores are coming in. So last score of Nikita, a 4.07 for the Russian Surfing Federation. Puts him in a solid second place position.
5 minutes
Oh, look
Shea
at that.
Allan,
It's buckled.
restan 5 minutos.
Yeah, you can see the crease right above the fins right there.
Surfers from the next
So that
heat,
board is
feel
definitely
free to pedal
buckled.
out. Just make sure you stay close to the buoy.
That's an
Well-
unfortunate situation, but he's still waiting for a score to drop though, right?
he's still waiting for a score to drop in, so we don't have the official score for his last wave.
Which will replace that 3.
Он
The
в
3 is
тройке
going
это
to go
прошел, а
away.
здесь сидит.
And it's going to put a lot more pressure. It could even put our surfer in second position into a combination situation.
Remember, these are the first rounds, so it is a double elimination format. So we're still in the first round of the men. So even if you lose your heat right here, you are definitely not out.
So down to 4 minutes. That's
Почему
all
белый прошел меньше
the
волны?
conversation is going to
Меньше
rest
волны.
on what comes through
А?
for Filipe. Because
Почему
it's
белый
either going to
прошел
put
с меньшими
Nikita into a
волнами?
combination situation,
Куда
or
он
it's
еще
going to
никто
keep
не
him in
прошел?
reach
4 минуты
for
еще
taking
кататься.
that lead away from Filipe Toledo.
А
Shea
почему на
Allan is a
берегу?
phenomenal
Это
surfer.
же-
He's had so
это
many good
следующий
results,
заезд
and that's
заходит.
also someone that we can't count out. He's got small scores on the board at the moment, but
Yeah.
he's just chasing a
Почему у
3.88
этого
to get
меньше
that
проезд?
advancing
Ну,
position
потому
for
что
the
он
top
не
round
берет
and main
волны,
rounds.
а наш берет.
Felipe's score comes in 6.27. So look at that, 15.10 is 2-wave score as we look at Nikita here. Right under the lip, that late drop gets ejected on that, so that's not going to change things. He stays in that number 2 spot.
Он фигуру
But
сделал,
for
да?
Felipe
Он
to have a
упал,
buckled
упал,
board
сделал.
right now, I
Да.
don't think it matters at all because for him, he could come in with 3 minutes left and still has a good chance of winning this heat right now.
Oh, he's set. He's set and solid. He doesn't have anything to worry about now that that second score came through as a really solid one.
think about this. The three biggest scores that we've seen through yesterday and today have all been the Brazilian contingency. They're the ones that have been doing it.
Yeah, they're really coming out firing. Like you said, goes for a huge alley-oop, lands it clean, rides out into the flats. That score dropped through as an 8.83 for his opener to competition this week.
And then taking another look here.
Ты
When
на
we
гребне
talk
волны
about
старые смотрел?
alley-oop, look, he
Давно
almost
очень
tweaks
помню.
it to the opposite way before
Ну
he spins.
просто раньше
Alley-oop
так не
is spinning
катались, как
up
сейчас
the way.
катают.
So you're
Конечно,
spinning
сейчас
up the
только
way. If you're not
прыжки.
going for the air reverse
Сейчас скейт
or a full rotation 3,
То есть
you're
суета
spinning
какая-то,
up
резкие
and going.
повороты,
And
такое
I
все
think it's one of my
резаное.
favorite airs
А раньше
because
было
you're blind. Once you turn
такое.
to the alley-oop, you
Таргинг
don't see
сильно.
your landing until you
А у этих
rotate
чуваков
back
ценится
around.
именно
So much
вверх и
risk.
прыжок.
Putting it all on the
Вау!
line.
Вот это.
But for him, you're the first alternate. Throw everything you got, including the kitchen sink at it.
Couldn't agree more. Having a
Hello.
look now at these last couple waves from Nikita. Love that little claim back down to the beach. So he's sitting in that second place position. He's still in the advancing top two spots. Shea Allan has some work on his hands. He's sitting in second priority. Filipe Toledo with first priority, and Felipe's going to have a look at this one on the buckled board.
Yeah, remember, he's got a buckled board, so his board's going to be a lot slower. But look at the turn with a
Ну,
buckled
приятно
board.
смотреть прям. Вау.
Oh, that's so sweet. Two big turns, three good
So
turns,
sweet.
throwing buckets on every single turn,
О,
and then hits
вот
it again.
это
I'm
класс.
surprised he hasn't buckled it again. At this point, with a minute
Он
38,
знал, куда
yeah,
зайти, где
you
спуститься.
just need to just
Что
come
вазона
on in
будет сходить. Он, видишь, посередине
and
спустился.
grab your next board.
Well, he's looking to improve on a 6.27.
Чувак прям
May
чувствует
as well just stay out there and have some fun.
He's gonna do it.
I mean, those were huge turns.
Yeah.
Like,
Они до сих
that
пор катаются,
was
что ли?
extremely impressive.
Да, еще 2
When your
минуты.
board flexes, I mean, when you get a buckle in a board, it's just not the same.
Короче,
It's
у
not
Никиты
stiff. It doesn't
есть
give you
полное
the
понимание, что он
speed, but it looks
впереди,
like
и сейчас
it
он
doesn't
может стараться
affect
сделать фигуру.
Toledo at all.
Правильно
Does he
понимаю?
need the opportunity to create speed though, or does he just do that naturally? Because that
Ох,
wave,
пришла!
you can see another wave peeking out the back, 50 seconds on the clock.
Oh, both of them.
Shea Allan has priority right now. He just needs a
Пронырнул.
3.88 to
Замывал
take
его.
advancing position, and the scores are in.
And taking another look here.
It's an 8.87, highest wave of the event on the buckled board. Filipe Toledo, the Brazilian. He's looking for gold this week.
I didn't even think that thing was going to score that big, but the judges know a lot more about it, and they're paying attention. Maybe they give more points because he's doing it on a buckled board. No, I doubt that that's how it works.
Absolutely not. But just look at this. I mean, perfect timing. It's also the shape of that
Вообще,
wave.
он
He's
прям
got
вот... Да
really
это вообще он
good
просто
going
дикий.
on it the whole way through. No downtime between those turns. Excellent transitions. I mean, he knew exactly what he was doing. And
Maybe everyone's going to start writing buckled boards now. They're going to say, whoa, look how good it is. Your board flexes and gives you some turn off the bottom.
down to the last few seconds on the clock as we have another look at the highest wave of the day, the 8.87.
17-70.
And so what was the alley-oop, the frontside alley-oop? What was the score on that
That
one?
was an 8.83.
So,
So slightly more.
Все,
Threw
выходит.
in three
Всё.
big maneuvers. Maybe with the alley-oop, had got some kind of turn after
Yeah.
that land, able to tag the lip as well on the finish.
one thing I did like about it, like I was saying, is when he goes for the alley-oop, he kind of tweaks it just enough. Okay, give me the score. Shea Allan.
Well, we have a score dropping in. So Shea Allan was able to get a wave in those last few seconds. It's going to count. We're just waiting for it to come through. He was chasing our surfer in white, a 3.88 from Barbados, to overtake our surfer in yellow from the Russian Surfing Federation. 3.88. It's going to be so
Russian Surfing
close.
Federation.
See, well, I remember double
Just waiting
elimination,
for
so
the average.
even you're not out. Even if you end up in third in that heat, you still have to be.
А в
You have to
Космосе
have
кто
two
сидит?
losses.
Как его зовут?
So remember, these are just the first round of the guys we're
А?
finishing up from
Отель,
yesterday.
который там
All right,
построил.
well, we'll get back. We'll find the scores and check everything out. We got
Севушка.
round one, heat 30. That's on the way. It's your 2021 Surf City, El Salvador, ISA World Surfing Games. More after this.
Ну, он старый, он 50. Не, ну так посмотреть. Не, наверное, нет. Блин, это вообще, смотри, что сделал. Да, он могет.